Chiefs are still the Chiefs, D-Butch. I don't know if you know that. They're still winning the games whenever it comes down to it. Now, they're saying that the refs are helping them.
Whoa.
They're saying that they're cheating. They're saying that the refs wanted to see Bill Belichick and Tom Brady win, so they gave them calls and screwed over other teams. Now they're doing it for the Chiefs.
Fans have been screaming for ref favoritism in Kansas City for years now, because teams that win Super Bowls tend to be lucky not only with injuries, but with officiating. But does ref favoritism go beyond luck with the Chiefs? Well, we put together the evidence, and the Chiefs might have a case against them. I'm Jerry, and this is a Clutch original on how much ref favoritism has worked in the favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. So how much luck has Kansas City compiled in 2024? They might be the luckiest team ever, and the numbers prove it. Through 17 weeks of 2024, Kansas City is 15-1, but Pro Football Network says they're 3.21 games above their projected record. How? 2 wins have been graded as lucky. Week 13 in their 19-17 win against the Raiders, and Week 10 in their 16-14 victory over Denver. But there's more. The Chiefs have won another 2 games when their win projection was just 51%. Week 2 against the Bengals and Week 9 versus Tampa, winning by a combined 7 points. And the story of 2024 in Kansas City has been fluke circumstances, with many saying at least 7 of their wins have came from such situations. Even so, Kansas City still became the first team to clinch a playoff spot in 2024. But now, we've dug up some of the most suspicious calls to see if ref favoritism for the Chiefs is actually true. And we have to take you back to 2021 where it all began. The 2021 AFC divisional round against Buffalo, better known as the 13 seconds game, because of Kansas City's 13-second field goal drive that sent the game into overtime. But in this game, overtime was over in a flash, because the Chiefs won the coin flip, immediately scored, and the Bills didn't even get a chance to have a possession to see if they could score. Now, was this the ref's fault? Of course not. However, it did lead to a massive playoff rule change, allowing both teams the chance to get the ball in overtime. And the 2023 playoffs were when chants of ref favoritism for the Chiefs really started to gain some steam. In their playoff grudge match that year against the Bengals, the Chiefs benefited from a late roughing the passer call that gave Kansas City a chance at an easy field goal attempt to seal the game. Now the call was legit, but no one outside of Kansas City wanted to see that back and forth heavyweight battle decided by a penalty. But just weeks later, it got even worse. In Super Bowl 57, against the Eagles, the Chiefs won thanks to a far more suspect call, when this defensive holding penalty in the game's closing minutes kept Jalen Hurts off the field and prevented him from leading Philly on a game-winning last-second touchdown drive. Fans were starting to get a little more suspicious. The next season of 2023-24 didn't have as many controversial calls for the Chiefs, but did have some drama in Week 14 against the Bills. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid complained about an obvious penalty in another heated matchup, leading to a 20-17 loss. This was the game where Kadarius Toney was called for offensive offsides on a play that would have led to a go-ahead touchdown for the Chiefs. But Mahomes and Reid felt they should have been given a warning that Toney was offsides before the play actually took place. Mahomes did later say, though, that he regretted his overreaction to the penalty. But the evidence has continued to pile up. Let's cut to 2024. Yet another game-changing call in favor of the Chiefs against Cincinnati in the closing seconds again had fans crying foul. Well, what happened? In Week 2, all the Bengals had to do was simply hold KC on a 4th and 16, and they would win the game. Then the refs called defensive pass interference on the play, a throw many saw as uncatchable, and the Mahomes-led drive continued, eventually ending in a game-winning field goal for the Chiefs. But these are only glaring examples because they all came in high-profile, nationally televised games. And fans may not like the outcome of these games, but these situations have been the calling card for the Chiefs, especially Patrick Mahomes. If you factor in underdog numbers, Mahomes is incomparable. In fact, he might be one of the greatest ever. In Kansas City's very first underdog matchup of 2024 against the 49ers, Kansas City came out on top 28-18. It's not just one game. Mahomes' underdog record? Try 11-3, and he's 12-1-1 against the spread. But he's been doing this for a while now. In 2017, Mahomes' very first game of his career, the Broncos were 3-point favorites, and the Chiefs won 27-24. Also, in every 2023 playoff game after the wildcard round, Kansas City was the underdog, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. So, yes, Luck helps, but winning close games is a major factor. Over the course of an NFL season, the calls benefiting every team across the league tend to even out over time. But Kansas City's success is just a reminder that it takes a little bit of everything to win it all. And if it's any consolation for you, you can bet that any close calls in Chiefs games will be under an even closer microscope going forward.